Right. So our purpose tonight is to carry out an advocacy about a reckless member of parliament who made, well, not reckless member of parliament, a member of parliament who made a reckless statement. Murtala Mohammed is member of parliament for Tamale, and he made a reckless statement. Totally reckless, you see, because he was full of something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But he made a very reckless statement as a member of parliament. Now, I've put this car here. You see his photograph is on the car. Now, who bought this car for him? Parliament bought this car for him. It's a Land Cruiser. It may not be exactly this car, but it's a Land Cruiser. And we put his photograph there because Parliament bought this Land Cruiser for him. He will take ex gratia to pay for the Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser is bought by taxpayers' money. And he comes to stand there and insults a section of the taxpayers. People who actually pay their taxes so that he can have a car to drive, he insults them. We are telling him that he doesn't apologize. Every Good Evening Ghana edition will remind them. Today we are beginning with his car. The next edition will bring the salaries that he has drawn on Parliament. We will bring the loans that he has taken from Parliament and show you how reckless some of the members of Parliament can be, like Murtala, who talks anyhow about people. Here's the video of what he said.
When the speaker was a lawyer practicing, you, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, you were selling spare parts at magazine. When the speaker was a lawyer practicing, you, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, you were selling spare parts at magazine.
Chairman Sabonsu, who is a leader of the House, has already admitted that yes, he sold spare parts at magazine and he's a proud spare parts seller. What is wrong with selling spare parts that it makes it inferior to practicing law? Is Murtala serious at all in this country? You're a member of parliament. You should be encouraging young people to do all kinds of things that work, or so long as it's not illegal. Is spare parts selling illegal? Go to Adom-Otchere and Swami and see how much money the Ghana Revenue Authority makes from Swami. There are electrical engineers who are selling spare parts. There are civil engineers selling spare parts. There are lawyers selling spare parts. There are very clever people who sell in spare parts. We are creating an automobile industry. It is the selling spare parts that make Japan what it is today. How Japan can do this Land Cruiser and import it for Murtala to drive in it. The genesis of being able to have a Land Cruiser industry in Japan is the selling of spare parts. And we are building a spare parts industry. Right now, Adom-Otchere, the trade minister, has brought automobiles here. Toyota and Nissan and VW, they're all here on the back of the spare parts industry. And Murtala sits down there and says that somebody is a lawyer and Chairman Sabonsu was selling spare parts and therefore spare parts is inferior. This is Murtala's car, bought by the taxes of the spare parts people, the young men, sometimes women, who are selling spare parts in Adom-Otchere and Swami. Those people, their taxes bought this car for him. And he recklessly stands there in parliament and talks about how spare parts dealers are below lawyers. Is that something that a member of parliament should even say? Is that something that should come out of the mouth of a member of parliament? This kind of reckless comments by Murtala. These are the spare parts people on your screen. Doing something, doing some demonstration or something like that. They are Ghanaians. These people are Ghanaians. And Murtala talks about them anyhow. This is Murtala's car. Please cut off the video. Let's deal with Murtala's car. This is Murtala. Put Murtala's, yes, this is Murtala's car. This is the car that has been bought for him by the taxpayer. He didn't buy this car. The taxpayer paid for it for him. And it is okay for the taxpayer to pay for it because they are members of parliament and we need to take care of them so that they can make laws for us and they can protect our rights. So no problem about that. But when the taxpayer has bought a car for you, Murtala, you don't come and sit down there and say that spare parts dealers are below lawyers. Lawyers pay their taxes, and I dare say that the Ghana Revenue Authority will generate more money from the spare parts dealers in Adom-Otchere and Swami than from the lawyers in Ghana. I dare say that. And you, Murtala, you sit down and the Swami magazine people and the Adom-Otchere people, their taxes are collected, is given to Ghana Revenue Authority. Ghana Revenue Authority gives it to Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance goes to buy you a Land Cruiser so you can sit in it and be comfortable and make laws for us. And you come and stand there and talk recklessly about spare parts people. A lot of them are young people because the nature of the spare parts work, if you are too old, you can't do it. So a lot of them are young people. Instead of you, a member of parliament, to encourage young people, you make such reckless comments about them when they have given you a car to sit in like this. And I'm telling you, viewers, if Murtala doesn't apologize, because we are here to straighten our democracy, we have to straighten our democracy. We cannot let some of these reckless things continue like that. This is a reckless statement by an irresponsible member of parliament. Murtala is an irresponsible member of parliament. They buy a car for you. Look at his face on the car. They buy a car for you and you come and tell us that you, Chairman Sabonsu, when Babin was practicing law. Practicing law is okay. Spare parts is also okay. None of them is better than the other. They are employment opportunities for the young people. And you, a member of parliament, you should be encouraging young people. Play his video again. And listen, please, viewers, listen to him. Play the video again.
When the speaker was a lawyer practicing, you, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, you were selling spare parts at magazine. When the speaker was a lawyer practicing, you, Honorable Chairman Sabonsu, you were selling spare parts at magazine.
You, Chairman Sabonsu, you were selling spare parts at magazine. That's what he said. So he places practicing law ahead of spare parts, as if spare parts is nothing. But it is the spare parts dealers who have bought you a Land Cruiser. Does he even connect that? If we have members of parliament who don't make that connection, they need to be chucked out of parliament. They should just throw them out. You're a member of parliament, you buy you a Land Cruiser, a car, so that you can go to your constituency, come to parliament, make laws for us, protect our interests, and the people who contribute to taxes. Is that what the NDC teaches people? I don't know. Here's an NDC member of parliament, National Democratic Congress. Is that what you are teaching your MPs? That they should disrespect spare parts dealers? Murtala Mohammed, you need to urgently render an apology. Otherwise, you know, we've been doing this program for 20 years. For the next 20 years, every day, we will remind you that you owe apology to spare parts dealers. And don't think we are going to stop here. We're going on a Facebook campaign. We will come after you because we want a code of conduct for our members of parliament that is decent, that respects our people. We can't have members of parliament disrespecting the people, especially young people. You have young people in your constituency. They queue and they vote for you. And then you come there and talk about spare parts dealers. Everybody should be a lawyer, right? Every young person should be a lawyer. So if you are not a lawyer practicing and you are doing spare parts, you are useless. Everybody should be a lawyer. Murtala, everybody should be a lawyer. People cannot do spare parts, and they can't do spare parts, yet they can pay taxes so that Ghana Revenue Authority collects their taxes, give it to Ministry of Finance, and buy you a car. Murtala, you couldn't buy your own Land Cruiser. The people who bought the Land Cruiser for you, you are insulting them. Murtala, is that how to insult members of the general public? Murtala, they have bought a land. There's not one Land Cruiser. It's not one. He's done 3 terms. Most likely he has 2 or 3 Land Cruisers bought by the taxpayer. He will finish and collect ex gratia and use it to pay for the Land Cruiser. And then he comes and he's insulting people. Here he is. Look at his first term. His first term in parliament was 2013-17. Second term, 17-21. He's in his 3rd term. Each of these, he's going to get a Land Cruiser. He's going to get ex gratia. No problem with that. That's what we have decided for ourselves. Members of parliament have to be taken care of. But when they do, put the car back. When they do, you do not come and insult them when they have bought you a car like this. Murtala, you have to apologize. Otherwise, every program will remind. Next program, I already have it. It's not that I'm looking for it. I have all the monies that have been paid to him duly and legitimately by parliament, and I will break it down and show him that the spare parts dealers, their taxpayers, is what has looked after you. I will end it now.